My life before I knew Christ was very on and off. I grew up in and out of church. My parents and us were very much like Sunday Christians, only doing the right things on the right day. And I endured a lot of trauma when I was a child. And even though I had the basis of faith and the basics of God, I still grew very questionable, very angry with me, very angry with God, very angry with the people around me, to the point where I hated who I was. I hated who I saw in the mirror, and I oftentimes questioned, if I belonged here, and was I going to take that step to not be here anymore. I walked around with a chip on my shoulder that I was owed, better things and greater things, and I blamed God for not giving me peace and allowing those bad things to happen to me. And that was my thought process. And it made me very hesitant to continue in my faith. The moment I put my trust in Christ was about 6 months after I started attending Northridge Church. I came to church every Sunday and I listened to the words, and I started to find my faith again, but I was still very hesitant. And why would you, somebody who loves me so much, put me through the things that I went through or allow those things to happen to me? And I was driving to work one day, like I always do, listening to my music, and this very loud presence told me, or I sensed it to tell me to pull over and sit in silence. And this very calming, perfect tone came into my head and said, "I am with you now as I always have been." And in that moment, I realized that God didn't not protect me through all of those things. He was harboring my heart. He was hugging that heart and making me the person that I am today, because I'm not an angry, bitter person. In that moment, I chose to listen to that, believe in that, surrender myself, believe that God died and rose again, and saved me. And I choose now, or I chose then in that moment, to allow Him to lead my life. Since trusting in God and making Him the leader of my life, I have been so peaceful. I find it easier to go through conflicts and trust that He is the right path. I pray every day, multiple times a day. I lead my family with the gospel. I teach my kids that, and my husband and I keep each other accountable to follow in the faith. I just find peace. I find happiness. I'm not angry, and I don't question everything. I am getting baptized today to publicly declare my love for God, to publicly show that I believe that He died and rose again to save me from my sins, and to show everybody that we're not walking alone, that there's somebody there harboring our hearts and weathering every storm with us.